think I'm ready.
You ready? That's
Yeah,
a
I'm ready.
ready.
I'm
Hey,
ready.
you are ready. And you know what I gotta say? No, I'm not gonna do that. Welcome to Long Lost Pals, episode 25, our Ben Simmons episode. And you know what? Surprise! We've got merch, baby. www.shopify.com/ Long Lost Pals. How delusional would it be if we actually had merch? So our number one fan, aka Karrin's mom, Miss Lana, sent us this in the mail. It was such an unexpected surprise. It was the coolest shit in the world. I appreciate you so much, Miss Lana. I've never even met you in person, and that was the realest shit ever. So thank you for that. We don't have merch. That would be awfully delusional of us if we only had four listeners and we expected y'all to buy merch. We lose a lot of money. But shout
Link in bio.
yeah. Shout out to the merch, baby. We're out here. Shout out to Miss Lana.
My bill isn't as tight as I'd like it yet because I haven't gotten to sit on it for 24 hours. So I'm gonna lean mine backwards
What
for
is it, a
now. But I got
baseball glove? You're gonna run it over with your car? This is a show of segments, and we'll get it cracking. So again, thank you, Miss Lana. Oh, and did you have some? Who made the stuff?
yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to HM Creative. HM Creative Works. We need to say thank you to her. I'm going to put the what's it called? I'm gonna put their information in our description on YouTube. I guess you can put it in on IG too. They do merch, t-shirts, personalized. They have DJ services, and she's a photographer, videographer. So Houston, if you need any of those things, if you need some t-shirts printed or some hats printed, they can hook you up. Photography, DJ, they got you. We'll put her information in the description of
One
these.
stop shop.
Yeah,
And we
you
do
can
take
get every shit. Plan a party, get the photographer, the DJ, and the merch for the damn party all in one.
if you're doing a family reunion, you need family reunion T-shirts.
Mm,
You want somebody? Go ahead and hit up them.
that's exactly it right there. There you go.
But this is a show of segments, and we're gonna get started with our. Oh, I'm Joey. Every time.
I'm I'm Corinne.
Got distracted by the merch that's for sale. Just kidding.
It's
All
just
right, we're gonna get started with our bottom five segment. Bottom five is where we do the opposite of the popular thing where people list their top five of a given category, and we do our bottom five. And this week, Corinne texted me and she was like, "I have an idea. Let's do bottom five parents." And I was like, "Hey, that's too big a pool to pull from." So we changed it to fictional parents. And then Corinne texted me yesterday and said, "Hey, can they be just like legal guardians and not like specifically parents? That is more inclusive." And also, I like that as well because it adds to a choice, a selection that I already made. So we're doing bottom five parents, nonfiction, or bottom five fictional parents / legal guardians. And I believe, Corinne, I went first last week. So it is your chance to go first this week. You have 2.5 minutes for this segment. So do I. And whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
number five is going to take me a second because I got to give like all the fucking backstory. But number five, I'm going with I don't know how many fucking people watch Five Nights at Freddy's. The movie was super fucking whack. I watched it because they billed it as horror, so of course I'm fucking in there. But Josh Hutcherson's character, the guy from Hunger Games who plays PETA, he is an older brother who has legal guardianship of his baby sister, and this fucking dumbass. He's a bad guardian, okay? He can't find a babysitter for his little sister, so he has to take her to work at his overnight security job at Five Nights at Freddy's, which is just an abandoned building. Okay, I get it. You can't get a fucking babysitter. Sometimes people got to do that. Take their kids to fucking work day. I fucking get it. This dumbass, first of all, he takes her to Five Nights at Freddy's, which is just an abandoned building. The reason that they hired him as a security guard was because it got vandalized earlier this week, which tells me that there's already vagrants in the area vandalizing this building. So you took her to a dangerous place. Then this motherfucker falls asleep on the fucking job. So you fell asleep at work, and while your little baby sister is asleep playing with haunted fucking robots, you suck as a fucking guardian. He's my number five. Number four, I don't know if you watch Bob's Burgers, but I'm going with Jimmy fucking Pesto from Bob's Burgers. He's an asshole, period, but he's also not a good father. He does not support Jimmy Jr. being a dancer. He wants to be a dancer dad. He doesn't want to fucking go to speech therapy. He doesn't like his fucking twin kids, and they are stupid, so I get it, but he's an asshole to them too. probably completely ignores them basically. Number three, I'm going with Matilda's parents from the 1996 movie The Wormwoods because they were fucking trash. The dad is a fucking scammer. Matilda literally raised herself. She's walking to the library as a toddler on her own. They're making fun of her for fucking reading. These are terrible parents. The best thing that they ever fucking did was sign away their parental rights to Miss Honey. And shout out to her because she raised an entire generation of lesbians and gave us all fucking gay awakenings, including my number two. I'm going with the McAllisters from fucking Home Alone. They left their child two times. And not only that, the older brother Buzz was clearly fucking bullying him. On top of the fact that in like the opening scene, Kevin McAllister didn't even fucking do anything. By whatever the fuck fault, he ends up spilling some soda, and even his uncle called him a little jerk. I'm sorry. If my fucking brother called my child a jerk, I would be beating the fuck out of him. Yes, you, Ronnie and Rylan, don't you ever fucking talk to my kids that way. And they didn't say shit, but pile on. They're bad parents. Number one, I'm going with Stannis Baratheon from fucking Game of Thrones. He burned his only daughter at the stake because this red witch said that he could become the fucking king if he sacrificed her. And he's a fucking asshole because she was a disfigured child who he was ashamed of because she was disfigured. Stannis Baratheon is my number one. Fuck. Man, number five, I had so much backstory to give. I knew that was gonna be a push.
Was like the most random one to spend a lot of time on too. So a couple of notes. Like you gave so much information that was not needed for that one. You could have summed that one up the quickest. I feel like that one should have been the easiest one.
No, I had to give backstory because nobody's familiar with him. They didn't know. He was just asleep. What are you doing?
Hey, shout out to people who have sleeping issues. I'm finally getting my sleep study done soon. I went to a ENT, finally get my sleep study done, baby, and I'm gonna get that sleep apnea approved, start wearing a mask. Anywho, Jimmy Pesto. Pretty sure the actual guy was in the January 6th riot. So trash person in real life and trash person in the show. You talked about the McAllisters. You didn't even mention the fact that they left him alone. You just talked about how they were rude to him. Didn't even mention that they left him at home and then lost him at the airport. But you know, what's more important? He got called a jerk. That was the only thing you mentioned. And then I get Game of Thrones is like one of those shows. Everybody has weird names, and it's been so long since I watched it. And there's a million characters. I vaguely remember that, but at the same time, it's very hard for me to remember everything just because the reason I just listed.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of terrible parents in that show that I could have listed. I just remember like I was like, fuck, bad parents. And I was like, oh, Princess Shireen, that motherfucker. She was like the sweetest little girl. And like I said, he was so ashamed of her. He like kept her locked away so that nobody could see her because she was like a little disfigured. She had the grayscale. I don't know if you remember that shit, but she caught grayscale, but they cured it, but it took them a long time to cure it. And so half of her face was already like eaten up by the disease. And I was like, you motherfucker. Boy, that shit broke my fucking heart when I was watching it. Fuck that guy.
We have one in common, which I will get to right now. I'm going to start with mine. Number five, we already hit on this last time, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. The Parent Trap parents. You're just going to have twins together and just, move to a different country and then have this reason, like this deal that you're just not going to acknowledge the fact that the other twin exists or that the other parent exists. Like, what kind of psychopathic ass shit is that? And they're just like, oh, fun, we found out we exist. Like, no, you are severely messed up people. Like, what are we doing here? Parent Trap parents, you're number five. Number four, I'm going with the Wormwoods, Matilda's parents as well. Danny DeVito, slimy used car salesman. Yeah, they like make her watch TV because they don't want her reading books. They like leave her in, if I remember correctly, I haven't seen this movie in probably like 20 years. I'm pretty sure they leave her in the car when they take her home from the hospital. She raises herself. Like, first of all, if you're gonna be scammers and like being watched by the FBI, like come up with a better scam. You could be using her brains to like come up with something like diabolical. Like she could be like entering her in chess tournaments, and you could be making a whole bunch of money off this kid instead that you're too worried about doing these weak ass car sales. And then on top of that, all the parents in that movie as well, because Miss Trunchbull's throwing kids out of the window, putting them in the chokey. Like, I understand kids can like embellish shit, but there's some serious like messed up shit going on. So all the parents in that movie, you as well. Number three, I'm going Ash Ketchum's mom. Sure, I'll let my son go out in the world and face a whole bunch of dangerous monsters and take on, a crime syndicate on his own when he's 10 years old. Okay, you turn 10? Sure. I could barely make a bowl of cereal at the age of 10, and Ash Ketchum's out there living on his own, doing whatever the hell he wants, facing Pokemon. Like, what are we doing? How is this possible? 10 years old? Not even like 13 or 15, 10? Unbelievable. Terrible parent. Number two, I'm going Sean Hunter's parents from Boy Meets World. So his dad's in and out of his life. His dad's a liar, makes terrible decisions, but you can tell he has a good heart. His mom's 20 times worse. So his mom, you see her way less. His mom just goes on the run a whole bunch of times, just leaves the family. And one time specifically, she leaves them, but she also takes the vehicle, which happens to be their home. They live in a trailer park. She takes the trailer and she's like, hey, I'm out. Takes all their shit, and Sean has to go live with Jonathan Turner. Great role model, great teacher, hot guy, but not necessarily what should have been happening. Number one, I'm going with the Dursleys. So before I even change this to Guardians, I was going to use them from Harry Potter. You're not familiar. So I was going to use them because, Dudley is enabled his whole life. All his poor qualities are because his parents suck. He ends up being a bully because they don't teach him right from wrong. And he's a greedy little bitch. And they don't teach him, oh, I want 38 presents or whatever he says. Yeah, no, he's the worst. And then we said it was Guardian 2. Yeah, you have Harry living in a cupboard. And then you don't want to do anything. You literally dye his, Dudley's old clothes. So you don't want to buy him even a t-shirt or whatever the hell it is, a school uniform. And then on top of that, you don't tell him about his parents. You lie about how they died. And then the last thing is he's getting a free pass to leave. You don't want to raise him anyway. Just send that man to Hogwarts. Why are we so against sending to Hogwarts? You don't want to take care of him. The only reason they upgrade him ever is because they're scared of him because he knows magic now. The Dursleys, you're number one.
When I was looking into worst parents, they came up 99 times. And I knew they kept him in a, what is it, under the staircase in that little closet or whatever under the, so I already knew that, and I knew that they treated him like shit. And I was like, that one's a maybe. Ash Ketchum, did not know that he was only 10 years old. That's fucking crazy.
Take it on the world.
I also completely forgot that in Matilda they had the fucking FBI across that fucking street with fucking binoculars.
They moved to Guam to avoid the FBI.
Bro, they could have took her to a casino and said, "Bitch, count these fucking cars."
Stupid. Yo, if you're gonna be doing some illegal shit, use that brain power for something.
God damn, they were stupid.
Short ass, Mr. Wormwood.
Thank you for giving Miss Honey the rights, because fucking hell.
Yeah. I also forgot Miss Trunchbull was her aunt. I had to do some research. There's a whole bunch of stuff I forgot about that movie. Yeah, she's Miss Honey's aunt. Remember, she gets her house back.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Matilda. No,
I remember. I need to rewatch that movie. There's so much I forgot about.
Maybe we should do Test of Time for Matilda.
We should. That's Anthony Edwards' favorite movie, NBA player. All right, we're going to move on. Now we're going to get into our Test of Time segment. Test of Time is when we watch or listen to something that used to rule when we were younger to see if it in fact still rules. The initial game plan for this week was to watch Superbad, a classic that we both thoroughly enjoy. And I haven't seen in a while. I can't speak for you. But Superbad, unfortunately, is not on any major streaming platforms right now. And Karrin was like, hey, you can rent it for $5. I was like, absolutely not. I'm a cheap bitch. I'm not doing that. So we pivoted to a similar movie from around that time, which is The Hangover, which I had not seen in a long time. So we watched The Hangover. But Test of Time, we do 2 minutes for the segment. With movies, we give the best scene. We give an overall summary of our thoughts and opinions. We give our best scene, our worst scene, and then we give it a 1 out of 5 rating. Am I forgetting anything?
Best scene, worst scene rating. No, I think that's it.
Okay, so I'll get started. So first and foremost, who has a bachelor party the same weekend you're getting married? That just seems like a terrible idea. Because even if you happen to get hung, I know we're supposed to have a buffer day in between that gets ruined part of the way through the movie, but who has it the same weekend? Especially if you're just going out to a bar. I know a lot of people that like their bachelor parties just at a bar near the crib. That's fine. You drove 5 or 6 hours from LA to Vegas just for a night, supposedly, and then you're coming right back to get married. What kind of bullshit is that? Also, only 2 real friends? Doug, are you just a loser? Are these guys not cool? Because the third guy that came with them was Alan, and that's just his brother-in-law. So we only have 2 friends. It's your bachelor party, bro. You guys went talk about college and shit. Were y'all just a little group of 3 that just did everything together and didn't make any other friends? A little sad. Stu is planning on proposing to his crazy girlfriend at his wedding, which is the worst place to propose. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask somebody to marry me at somebody else's place where they're getting married. Stu, I feel for you. The least romantic thing you can possibly do. Also, a very funny line. They say, she beats you. And he said, that was twice, and I was out of line. There's a lot of funny dialogue about Stu's girlfriend in this movie. I'd like to think in this situation I'm like Phil or somebody cool, but when I watch this movie, I'm so much like Stu. I get so stressed out watching movies like when the car is getting tore up and where crazy shit's happening. I just don't want any part of it. I'm just like, oh, my anxiety's kicking in. Like when people have house parties in a movie, that always stresses me out. Um, there are certain things. There's a scene in the movie, the cop scene, where there's like certain lines, and I was like, I forgot that was like in the face and not up in here. Both of those lines are things I feel like I say occasionally, and both of those are from this movie, and I forgot. A lot of things that are questionable. I hate Godzilla 2, paging the doctor, and a couple other things that would probably not happen today. A couple more random things. When Stu draws a small straw, I think he loses in rock, paper, scissors, or whatever the case is, paper, scissors, rock, whatever you want to call it. He's going to feed the tiger the steak, and he closes the door. Like, what kind of technique is that? I'm going to close the door behind me. What are we doing here, pal? Much more likely to get mauled. What's the deal with the tuxedos at the end? Why are they getting them delivered? I'm sure you already had some fitted that you could just pick up from, or that were at the house already. I don't understand that point. It didn't make any sense. Also, they find Doug almost like a day and a half later, or like, no, I guess a day later. Was he just sleeping on that roof for 36 hours? Like, he just couldn't come to after that roofie when everybody else was having a whole scene going on? Didn't really make any sense. Um, I don't really have a least favorite or a favorite scene from this movie. It was very hard because I feel like it was just steady the whole time. Like Alan was truly the MVP of this movie. He's hilarious. Like felt like he was the funniest one back in the day, and he's definitely the funniest now. Maybe the cop scene because his little interactions with that kid are hilarious, or maybe like the scenes when they're heading up to Vegas, or his interactions with Phil are all pretty funny. No real least favorite scene ever. Like there's nothing really in the movie where I'm like, this is a waste of time or like useless or anything like that. I will say though, I feel like I was the target market when this movie came out. I was like 18-year-old male.
100%
I thought this movie was the shit. I watched it this time and I was like, this is cool, but like I'm not enjoying it nearly as much. Like back in the day, I was saying this is a top 5 comedy for me. Now I don't even think it's in my top 10. Solid overall, but not fantastic. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars, or 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. All right, give me the timer. I have some things that I'd like to comment on. First of all, I love how the movie unfolds. Typical movies, we watch it linearly, but this movie, I love how they do bachelor night and cut to the next day. And then we are in the position of the characters to relive and figure out what the fuck happened last night. I loved how they did the sequencing on that. It was fucking spectacular. Let's talk about the soundtrack. Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye drops early. Live Your Life by Rihanna and T.I. banger. I know you were uh beaming when Who Let the Dogs Out drop. When that song dropped, I said, oh, this is gonna be Joey's number. I'm surprised you didn't fucking comment on it. But love the soundtrack, great soundtrack. It was very appropriate for that time. I think we need to get back to having like pop culture soundtracks in our like current shit. I think it makes the movie more fun. I loved it. The exact same thing you said about Zach Galifianakis cleared the movie. Like every line that he had was still just as funny now as it was back then. Loved him. Bradley Cooper though plays a fucking amazing douchebag. He's so good in this. I loved him.
It's hot.
He come on now. I'm going to say that my favorite scene, the cop interrogation scene, when they sit down, not up in here. They were so fucking funny. Like before they get to the taser scene, and they're like, "Look, guys, we're apologizing. Like we fucked up. We were stupid. Blah blah blah." Love that scene. I also loved the piano song that Stu does. What do tigers dream about? Love that one. I think it was super funny. Least favorite scene. I gotta just that piece is what I remembered. The least favorite scene, I gotta go with the baby jerking off scene when when Zach Galifianakis is doing that with a baby. Again, that's just like the broy humor that was so popular back then. Very bad. Not really funny to sexualize a fucking infant. Let's do better, guys. There was a lot of fat jokes that I don't think aged well or whatever. So That's what I'll say. I honestly, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, dude. I think all of the comedy, most of the comedy still holds up. I think the story's really good. I think there's a lot of good shots in there. Great fucking soundtrack. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5.
I think my like the reason it was so low for me is just because I said there was no like it was just solid all the way around. There was no
Yeah,
like peaks and valleys for me,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I guess is a good thing. But I guess I just remember it being such an iconic movie. Like even the full like the when they look at the pictures at the end, I remember that just being like the funniest scene. I watched this
Love
thing
that.
and I was like, this is cool. But like I remember the first time I was like, oh, look at this shit. I was just like, this is cool. Like probably was like boobs and stuff. So I was like 18. I was like,
It's definitely like juvenile humor
yeah.
type shit.
Also, we got to talk about a top three scene for me. Leslie Chow hopping out of the trunk naked. What a ballsy
You
move.
want to fuck on me?
Yeah. To do that, like do full frontal when that's your situation. What a guy. What a guy. That's all I'll say. Uh,
When Stu opens the door and hits Alan in the fucking head while he's trying to get up. It's fun. It's still making me laugh. It's still funny, dude.
I,
I gotta
dare I
say.
say though, something I want you to think about. We're not gonna get into a debate right now. Maybe you agree with me. I think I need to watch it. I think I might like Due Date more now than I like Hangover because Due Date, he's the exact same character and he's like one of
Yeah.
the main characters, Robert Downey Jr. I'm just saying. But that wraps up Test of Time. Next, we're going to move on to Boomer Moment of the Week. Boomer Moment of the Week is just for us to a chance for us to complain about something that's pissed us off. We get a minute for this segment. I'll go first. Bumper stickers, man. I like, looky here. You want to do one bumper sticker? You got baby on board. Your kid's on the honor roll. Like, I support that shit. Look, man, brag about your kids and shit. What I don't like is repetitive aspect bumper stickers. Looky here, man. You got a Trump 2024 bumper sticker. You got a Blue Lives Matter bumper sticker. You've got a Black Rifles, or was it Black Rifles Matter bumper sticker. We get it, bitch. You're ignorant, possibly racist. Like, we understand. You don't need to double down and triple down on the bullshit that you're selling. Like, it's good. I don't need to see 6 bumper stickers that mean the same thing. I was able to paint a picture of you and do one of those goddamn caricatures of you before I even seen what you look like because I could just see from one bumper sticker. We don't need to do more than that. We don't need your whole personality displayed a million times. I hate it, and it's really something I see every day out here. That's my boomer complaint of the week, boomer moment of the week.
I believe I sent you the it's like a decal. It's not like technically a bumper sticker, but it's like a back window decal of one of my somebody who works in my office, and I figured out who it was, but it's like straight gun owning Christian. Does how else can I offend you today? And I'm like,
I don't think he's gonna offend you. It's probably not very fun to hang out with you, fucking Mo. All right,
one, you're probably a jackass. So that's fucking offensive. All right, let me get
but
into
the
mine.
hiring pool's not great at your job. All right,
Fucking clearly, I put in my 2 weeks at that motherfucker.
you did? Oh, ooh, we gotta talk about that later. All right, go ahead.
Um, so I actually had something else lined up, but then I got a note on my door from my fucking office about my like lease renewal. And so I was like, oh, you just fueled me with fucking ammo for today's boomer moment. Cause today I'm complaining about pet rent. What the fuck is pet rent? How in the fuck? They don't have jobs. How the fuck you gonna charge them for fucking rent? I paid y'all a deposit. Half of it is fucking non-refundable. I don't know where this pet rent is going, but they can't fucking pay it. Do y'all charge a child rent for children? How the fuck does that make sense, bro? I am giving y'all $30 a month every fucking month, which is what, $3,600 a fucking year
Wait, how much you
to
live on?
pay 30 times 12. That's 3,600.
No, 30 times 12, 360.
It's only $300. Nah, it's got to be more than that,
No,
bro.
you're not paying.
So that's too damn much because I gave y'all a $500 pet deposit on top of the fucking pet rent.
He was in my
That's some
English class growing
bullshit.
up. He wasn't in my math class, you know.
Yeah, we were in English
Mental
together.
math wasn't there, dog. Yeah, I'm on calculus, multiplication, baby. Girls are struggling. Algebra. Uh,
Give
no,
me the fucking slack.
I'm
I'm 2
so
minutes in.
I'm so sick of renting places. Like I'm not one of those person that's all up in arms about buying a place. There's so much bullshit that goes along with renting. Like you pay all these deposits and shit. Like, and then the past couple places I moved into, I'm not living in apartments. I'm like renting homes, and they haven't even been that clean when I moved in. I'm like, you got the nerve to charge me all this money for this deposit, and this shit should be like spotless when I walk in, and it's not. Like,
Fucking told me about them. Oh, well, you can go somewhere and get this to fix it.
oh, that was LA. But the place I live right now, like exterior, this place looks like shit. People just don't have pride in the places they rent. I don't know. I miss apartments actually. All right, so we're going to. If I didn't have a dog, I'd be advocating to be back in an apartment. We are going to move on now to quick news. Quick news when we cover four relevant news topic from the weeks that vary in topic. And we get 2 minutes for this topic. So theoretically, 30 seconds for each one. Let's see
All
how
right,
we do today because we've been
let's
going
see if we
over, baby. But what's
all
new?
right. All right,
Uh,
let's see if we can do it.
I'm looking at
In,
my notes document first of
got
all.
it?
The wrong thing. We're good to go. Go ahead.
Okay, I pulled it up. NCAA football is back. What are your expectations for the number one Longhorns this year? Look,
My hot damn hook 'em horns. Sports always let me down, so I want to be like excited and be like, Archibald Manning is going to win the Heisman, and we're winning the national championship. But the only national championship we won in my lifetime is the one where I was actually rooting for USC. We've talked about this before. I hope we do that. I mean, honestly, there's not much room to grow because we've gotten close the past 2 years. So really, the next step is national championship. If you want to be technical, I hope they get it done. But I'm going to try to keep my expectations kind of low just in case. Snoop Dogg is apparently scared to take his grandkids to the movies. After seeing Lightyear with his grandson, he asked him, there was two gay characters in the movie Lightyear, and they had, like, I guess they had a child, and he was confused about why they had a child, and he was questioning that, and Snoop Dogg didn't like it. Does that surprise you about Snoop?
it doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is that he was on trial for murder and he is scared to go to the movies because of lesbians. And he also, I wonder if his grandson asked him about him cheating on his fucking wife 99 times. Fuck that guy. He's already been written off in my fucking mind. He's a dickhole and I don't give a fuck about him being homophobic. I hope that his grandchildren get better fucking examples set for them as they get older. Um, it looks like your boy Travis Kelce married my fave T Swift. They're fucking engaged right now. Are you happy for him, or are you gonna throw a pity party?
Dude, this shit is so stupid. Dude, you know how much she's gonna be like. I don't understand why people get so mad about this shit. It's literally like, can you just be happy for people? Like, I don't like the Chiefs. I'm sick of them, but I'm happy for them. I like them together. I'm sick of the Chiefs, but like people get so up in arms about the shit that doesn't matter. Meanwhile, we got a dickhead running the country that they don't care about, or they do care about so much that they have time to worry about stuff like this. Speaking of worrying about dumb shit, Cracker Barrel is going through some renovations and even got a new logo, and people are not happy about it. Stock dropped 13% last Thursday. How pissed off are you about the change at Cracker Barrel?
The only thing that I'm pissed about is that there's not one close enough for me to go and enjoy a fucking delicious meal because I haven't been there in forever and I would love to enjoy a meal and continue supporting Cracker Barrel because who gives a fuck about the logo? Those people are the actual sensitive ass snowflakes. They have good food. I would go there today if I could.
I bet you I know what their bumper stickers look like. And that's quick news. Now we're going to move on to recommendation. Recommendations is a chance for us to recommend something that we think you should do, watch, whatever the case may be, listen to. We split a minute for this segment, and I guess, Karrin, you are going to go first.
Back with another horror wreck, guys. I finally got to watch Bring Her Back. Came out earlier this year, I think in April. I missed it in theaters. I was very upset about it. But three of my friends said it was really good. So I finally fucking got to watch it. And it's so fucking good. It's the exact same directors that did Talk to Me last year. So if you saw that movie and thought it was great, which it fucking was, I recommend both of them from these directors. They're Australian, Michael and Danny Filippo, and they're crushing this new horror genre. I recommend seeing Bring Her Back. Your turn.
If you have a yard, do the yard work yourself. The amount of satisfaction that you get when you've completed your yard work is immeasurable. You're out there, you're drinking an ice cold light beer, you're admiring your work. I've had very small yards, and I'm not saying I do the most tip top Hank Hill ass job, but all I know is after I've done yard work, the amount of satisfaction I feel. Cut your own grass, Now, if you have a mansion or some shit, maybe pay somebody to do that. But they also have riding mowers, and that shit looks kind of fun. So do that. That
I
wraps up
recall,
episode 25.
I recall you texting me about the yard work this weekend, and you were like, "Oh, I think the rain's gonna get me." I was like,
I was
"Wow,
so upset because I
you're
had like
really a
bullshit.
fucking dad."
I was like I had worked out and I was like, oh man, did I bullshit the good weather away? And am I not gonna get to mow this grass? Because it like literally puts me in a bad mood if I look outside and it's like not mowed. It bothers me. That's episode 25. Shout out Ben Simmons, who will never
Shout
be.
out Reggie Bush, fam.
Oh God, what a sexy man. Also, an
Wait,
original,
I think that he was
an original
in
Kim
like
Kardashian dater.
I was gonna say, I think that like whenever he was like hot and dating a Kardashian, he was like he was like on the list for like world's 100 sexiest men. Like he was somewhere in there.
Speaking of Kim Kardashian, first of all, like The Hangover reminded me that I have no concept of time. That movie is like 16 years old. It was almost half our life ago. And like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West kid is like 12 now. Like if you had asked me, like I don't really dig into celeb gossip, but I would have swore she was like 4 years old. And then she looks grown as hell. I'm like, what is happening? I saw a picture today. I'm like, where does time go? And how did I not know this? Because I don't care. Just like I don't care about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and they're on my TV, dude. I'm just gonna ban NFL from my house. First, they let Colin Kaepernick take a knee, and then they have Taylor Swift on my TV when I'm trying to watch America, and they got male cheerleaders. This is
You're
such bullshit, dude. They're ruining America's sport. This is
boycotting the NFL next.
boycotting it all, and I'm gonna put a bumper sticker on my car right next to the Blue Lives Matter one. It says boycott the NFL. Hey, we appreciate you if you tuned in for this. I feel like we said it last time, but we're gonna say it again. You gotta like and subscribe, dog. That's the thing. We're old, but you got to do that. And shout out to the merch,
Yes.
www.longlostpalshop.com.
No, shout out to HM Creative Works. We're gonna put the fucking email in our thing. I need to look her up. It's a woman that my mom knows, so I'm gonna look her up on IG and see if we can plug her at in the
Hit up our
in
shop, man. Hit up our shop.
the
Buy our merch. You know what I'm saying? We got you for the low. Got other
Sign us
stuff
off,
too.
Cole. Sign us off.
Okay, sorry. Well, I will sign us off. Usually like a segue to stay fly, but my brain's not working, so I'm just gonna say, stay fly. Buy our merch. We're out.
My armor. There's no
We
merch
don't
to
have merch. We don't. There's nothing to buy.